Plastic Model Builders, hello, it is me, Ari Stone, with Plastic Model Builder, and this is part 10 of the Tamiya F-35A 1/48 scale Lightning II. In our last video, we put on decals. In this video, we are putting on even more decals. There are a lot to this model, so I figured we would show you everything. Remember, we do live premieres, so we answer questions during the premiere about the videos, whatever. So feel free to join us. I love when you watch. This right here is one of the missile bay doors. Of course, we've got two of those. They're kind of jaggedy. You see I broke that decal there. Not a big deal. They go together fairly easily, even if you do break one. Just be careful with them. This right here is the door that goes to the ladder. It's on the side of the aircraft. We have a landing gear door right here, and it has two decals. You can see they go on fairly easy. Just got to be careful with all these decals. Like I said, there is a lot of them, and you're going to see me put on the majority of them. I did some in the last video and more of these for today. We're going to be more in the next video as well, which is all the stencils. I do reiterate, there are a lot of them. So your choices are to mask off or not. Right here, this is the front landing gear, the door for that. Right here, the wheel well for that door. Two of those. You see it's got the little jagged edges in there. I just used the edge of my knife. I did cut out a lot of the clear edges on this to make it easier to fit and to make it a better fit. So you could see, like, I just pressed the knife in and it made those decals go flat to where they're supposed to go, right along the edges. This right here just wraps around. Be careful with it. If you need something to soften it up a little bit, do so. Some liquid will help it adhere. Make sure you brush all your stuff out of it and it should be good to go. You see me doing that right there, and it just slowly conforms, especially with solvents and things like that. This is the other side. You have this as that goes, same exact way. Just wrap it down. You want to make these look pretty and get your model making madness in there. That's how I do it. Got my little Q-tips, smooth everything out. You got your tail stabilizers right here. Got a couple of these. It makes me wonder if it would have been easier to paint the model gray and put on the opposite decals, or do it this way. I guess they felt it was easier to put on the ram coatings instead of painting the model. So you also have these decals which go on the side and the bottom right there. Line those up and make them look pretty. I did say model making madness, didn't I? You got this same one here on the opposite side. You may want to let each side dry before you get ahead of yourself. That way you're not having any decals peel up or anything like that, which could be kind of bad if you do that. Once again, you just see me smoothing it out and then getting that edge there. Like I said, I scraped away all the clear edges. Not scrape, but cut. That way I could get a nice clean line where things meet up properly. That way I'm not having to fight with that clear edge on the plane. And you just got this little one right here. Like I said, carefully put all these on. You will make this plane look very good because it's well worth it. All these ram coatings, it's just wonderful. There we go, give that a little pull there. You see how they all turn out. Make sure you get all your air bubbles out and things like that, because some of these decals are rather long. You have that just like that. Turns out nicely. You see how it all lines up. We are going to glue on our front flaps right there. Kind of press them in, and you'll see they go in like that. Very easy. I pull them out a little bit, put the glue on, and press them right back into place very quickly before the glue dries. And I also want to give you a friendly reminder. Enable your notifications when my videos come out. That way you can watch them in real time with me. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like as well. If I mentioned that earlier, we're mentioning it again. Just make sure you get all these decals along the wings and the flaps right here. I had made a mistake earlier and went to put some of these on, but realized they don't go on the actual flaps. They go in that spot there where you saw me putting on. So here, right here, we have our landing gear. Put our little decals on right there. You got one gear, And of course the other, make sure you don't break your decals. They can be a little fragile at times, but most of these were pretty thick. So these go on the inside of your landing gear doors. You see how they look? That's the inside pieces of them. You just kind of put them onto the doors from the inside, and that's what it will look like. We got all our little stencils right here. So you want to make these look pretty too, for some model making madness, as we call it. These are more bay doors right here. As you can see, they are fairly long and extended. So we will make those look good. You can see we've got that bar that goes inside of there, which is really cool. So now we got these little guys. There's a bunch of them, little diamonds. They go on right there. I don't know what they are. I'm sure they have some sort of function. I don't know if they're like air vents or something like that to cool the plane on the inside or what. But they do have them, and of course they are pointy because that's how radar absorbing materials work. They've discovered that things that are angled absorb it better than things that are not. So we now have this little guy that goes right there, and these right here which go onto our sidewinder pylons. Got a little bit of a micro set going on there that I use in micro sol. Now we're going to put on our tail stencils and our insignias and numbers and all that good stuff. You see that one goes right there. Have the letters, a couple of numbers, and some more stuff that go at the bottom right there, which are your squadron divisions and things like that. And we will do the same thing to the other stabilizer. As you can see, more insignias and numbers. You see they are grayish white colored. They go on nicely as well, and they look good on the final model. Again, make it look pretty. Model making madness, and that's why I don't have these on the plane, because it was easier to do like that. Got our Air Force symbols, got a couple of those. Some of these things which are for their instruments that are on top of the plane. Here we have some little warning labels, I think, or something. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they indicate something. You can see me putting them on right there. No, they're not that little. It's just one big decal. Got another Air Force logo and another one on the side, like 4 or 5 of those. Another insignia on the side of the intake right there. Like I said, model making madness. Make it look pretty. Some more little stencil-ish decals. Another insignia goes on the other intake. So once some of your decals have dried, I forgot to mention this, you can put on your other decals like this, because remember, we put decals onto your landing gear doors, and now we're putting decals on top of those. That was the same thing that happened with our tail stabilizers. We already put a decal on, and we're going over those decals. So this is how we want to make these look. More model making madness to make those look pretty as well. So you got some big ones here with no steps on them. More grill type looking decals. Smooth them out, make them look good. You could paint those if you want. Here's another one. Make sure it lines up with all the little angles and things like that. Model making madness. These things are hard, little diamonds. I don't know what those are for. I think they're the hooks for lifting up the aircraft onto whatever it's going on to. Got these little guys right here. Don't know what they are. I guess more notes for hooks, if that's where they have to use it to lift up the aircraft. Got this part of the instruments, which goes on the nose. And then this, you see all the little jaggedy edges once again. And I cut out all the little clear from those as well. That is one of those things with this model. If you really want to make it shine, you already put a lot of effort into this model. Put a little extra in and make it look pretty. We've got these, some more of these little grill things. A bunch of them, as you can see. I'm just kind of putting them on there for you, and then we straighten them out. A lot of those, they look good in the very end. So that's all that matters, is how it looks in the end. Just putting it there, and that gets twisted. Got the little triangle right there. Brushing it down a little bit. More hook areas. Get all those put on. Make everything look pretty. Again, model making madness. Not many of those folks left. Got one that goes right there. And then this, of course, another thing for the instruments or whatever's there. We have our little glow things for the lights right here, a couple of those. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like again. And of course, as always, until next time, see ya!